So you fancy adding a bit of branding to your Zoom calls, do you? Something like this? Or maybe you've seen somebody else doing it and you're thinking, how are they doing that? I'd love to be able to do that. Well, I've got a couple of solutions for you in this video, really a couple of levels. If you're happy with something like this, then I'm going to show you how to do that right here in Zoom. Or if you want something more like this, where you can just put a logo over the front of whatever background is going on, I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can do that. Firstly, using OBS, a free bit of software for PC and Mac. And then if you're an Ecamm user, I'm a big fan of Ecamm, but it's Mac only. I'm going to show you how to do the same thing on that. And you'll notice that we've actually put chapters down here. So if you want to jump straight over to the Ecamm or the OBS one, you can do that without watching the basic one first. But I reckon it's not going to be that long. Why don't you just watch along with us? So we're going to start off with this basic version in Zoom first of all, but we want to create that background to sit behind us. And if we think that we want a logo just to sit up there in the top, I'm going to suggest that we use Canva. A lot of you use Canva. You'll have an account for Canva. So I'm just going to come up here into my account and let's create a design. I tend to stick with these YouTube thumbnails because I know that that's going to be the right proportion. 1280 by 720 will be fine for us. And so we start off with a blank one. And all I want to do, I'm going to suggest that you put a background color in first of all. And we've got some brand colors here. I do think a dark background will complement you and help you. But you can have a play with this and maybe you create a couple of options and see how the different colors look. And then we've got a logo that we just want to drag up onto this. And bearing in mind, this is going to be the whole background behind me. So I'm going to put this up in the top corner over here. I think that'll be big enough. And then I'm going to sit down here in the middle. And simply all I need to do is to hit share and then download. It's suggesting a PNG file. That's perfect. We don't need any of these settings on and we can download it. Now let me minimize this, come back into Zoom, and down at the bottom of Zoom here where you've got these settings for your stop video, it says audio things are here. This is the video. See that little arrow at the side? It gives us a menu when we click it, and it actually says about blurring backgrounds and things and choosing a virtual background. So let's click on that. And it brings us into, this is our main settings area, but we've got a tab in here, backgrounds and effects. That's where we're going into virtual backgrounds. So there are some already in here. And what you can do is hit the little plus symbol over here, add an image. And I've just put this in a couple of times. So we've got our untitled design here in my downloads. I can hit open. And as easy as that, it's now just brought in this background behind me. Now, I'm not a big fan of this, to be honest. I find this a little bit flaky. And actually, this is us doing it on a nice camera. If you were on a webcam, you're going to find that this is even more hazy around the edges. And if you're wondering, do I need a green screen for this? Well, we've made a video about that, which you can watch up here, but not till we've got to the end of this video. Okay, so that's the basic version. I'm going to come out of this, and all I do is in this settings area, in my backgrounds and effects, I can just click none, and it takes me back to where I was before. So for those of you that fancy something more advanced, we'll stick with this example of putting a logo at the top corner here. Then let's show you how you can do that. I think it looks a lot nicer to have a background cut out. If you have a logo that doesn't have the background cut out of it, you can just take it into Canva, Snapper, one of these tools, even just in Finder, you can just remove the background and save it out transparent. It'll look a lot better sitting on here if it looks like it's just floating transparently. So we're going to have a look at OBS. This is the first option. I'll put a link below to this, obsproject.com/download. And you're going to choose either for your PC or for your Mac. And you can see at the bottom here, it's already started downloading. So let's open that up. I'm just going to drag it onto the applications there. And if I come down into my applications and open up OBS, first time around, you're going to see these options where it's asking you to give permission for OBS to be able to see things. And continue. Got a few options on here for what we're doing here. We're just going to use the virtual camera. Click next. And it's giving me some ideas there. And I can apply those settings. When you start off in this, your sources, you're going to hit plus. And we're going to put a video capture device in. Let's just put Sony camera. And then it's asking where it is. And I know it's this 𝗟𝗏link 4K. Okay. So I've brought my camera in, and now I can bring another source over the top. I'm not sure actually, can I just drag it onto here? Yes, it does let me just drag it in. So I can actually just bring this in, place it up in the corner up there. And when I click off of it, I can see where that's going to end up. And what I can do is to start virtual camera. Now, what you will need to do is, because we've literally just set this up, if you've seen other videos where I've talked about using Ecamm into Zoom, you'll notice that I'm not seeing an option down here for this OBS one. So I need to close down my Zoom recording and properly quit Zoom. Let's start another meeting, and I'm hoping that we're going to see, yay, OBS virtual camera down here. So when I click on this, we're now seeing the screen coming through from OBS. And because this is live and a virtual camera, if I want to move this around, if I select the right one, I can actually reposition this live. I can adjust the size of it. I can pop it elsewhere, decide, yeah, so you can put this in here. All you're going to need to do is, when you come to do your Zoom recordings or your live or your meeting, whatever it is to work with OBS. You need to open OBS first, and then you open up Zoom, and how good is that? Right, I'm going to come back to the 𝗟𝗏link version through here. Let's close down OBS because I want to show you how to do this in Ecamm, which is an alternative. I find it a much nicer, more intuitive way to work, but you do need to buy it, and it is Mac only. But I know a lot of you that follow me are Ecamm users, so let's just show you how we do this in Ecamm. So I open up Ecamm Live over here, and in a similar way, I'm just going to turn these controls off so you can see what's happening over there. You can actually see on the screen here, Ecamm one side, Zoom on the other. My logo's just down here. I can literally, again, drag it up onto the screen and resize this. And if I, yep, we have got Ecamm in here already. So again, I can set this, and in the same way that you just saw with OBS, I could reposition this, resize it. Whatever is going on here on Ecamm, I can do, and it feeds straight over here into my Zoom window. So if I'd got images, for instance, and things that these are bits from other calls that I've done here, but I can work in Ecamm and I can alter these things around. It isn't just this. I could put bullet points or things like that up on the screen and bring it into Zoom. So it becomes very easy. All I'm doing is working in, whether that's OBS or Ecamm, and then I select that camera rather than my main camera, and then whatever is happening in there is being sent over to here now, and that's what's being recorded. Now, I've added an affiliate link in there for Ecamm. If you haven't used that before, you can take that out for a 14-day free trial. Have a play with this, bring in logos, try different things, and just what a fantastic way to upgrade and improve your Zoom call. So hopefully you can see there, I'm just looking at putting a simple logo up. You really could go a long way with this, and if you've watched other people and they've got nice framings, they've got lower thirds, things like this, chances are they're using OBS or Ecamm, and that's how they're doing it. So you've now had a little taster. You can go and have a play with either of these and let your creativity run wild. If you're interested in knowing more about Ecamm particularly, that's the one that we've really focused on. We absolutely love Ecamm Live, and there's a whole playlist over there that you can check out if you want to see all the things that you can do inside of Ecamm. And down here, we've got another playlist dedicated to Zoom tips and tricks to help you really master this and stand out like an absolute pro when you're on your Zoom calls. So check out one of those playlists over there, and I'll catch you in another video. Thank you.